Yo, my love, and welcome back. Today, I am going to answer a few questions. I am going to do a full readings on a few questions. I received a few questions from you, my love, and thank you so much for sending those questions. So, what is going to happen is I'm going to answer those questions in one shot. So that means this is going to be a long video. However, I'm going to put chapters so that each section will be for each reading and it will make it easier for you to follow. The first question that I am going to look at is Ted Cruz. I had the question about the recent trip that he took to Cancun when Texas was freezing, and I was asked if that is going to affect his political career. So let's look at it right now. And of course, you can check the description for the list of questions answered in this video. Without any further ado, let's dive in. So the middle of the cards are the middle of the card is the 8 of needle, which is the 8 of swords. And by the way, before I even go forward, you saw me, if you are new to the channel, and yes, you saw me turn the card back to straight because I do not read reverse. But that doesn't mean that if there is a reversal signification in the card, even in the straight position, I will get the message because I do use my guides to relay the message. So I keep my cards straight to read. So anyways, in the middle of the card here, we do have the 8 of swords, the 8 of needle here in this deck, and the 8 of swords has to do with being trapped, being entrapped, being prisoner somehow. Of course, the situation here is of course related to the trip to Cancun when Texas was freezing, and there was Texas was pretty much trapped at the moment, and he did escape Texas to Cancun, a safer or less cold place. So this is what this card here has to do with. But the entrapment here is also related to him per se, because if you think of the 8 of swords in the regular tarot card, that card is represented with one person that is blindfolded, and they are in the middle of 8 swords, and the 8 swords here represent a prison for the person, and the card has to do with imprisoning yourself mentally, because the needle or the swords deals with mental. And here we can see it in the fact that he does know that this was not a good move. So when he came back, if you remember, he had to play a little bit of victim, but also blaming someone or throwing his family under the bus to get out of the situation. So that is what this card, the 8 of needle, represent in this situation. In the past, we do have the Knight of Needle. The Knight of Needles, this is the Knight of Sword, and the Knight of Sword deals with rash decisions made without thinking, which is interesting that the card itself is in the past of the situation. The past here, the decision made here was to leave Texas when Texas needed him the most, and escape somewhere else, and then come back to become or play the victim some sort or somehow. So that is what we see here in the Knight of needle, the Knight of Swords. But there is also this idea of because the Knight of Swords, this is a knight who is really rushing through head first, and they think they are unstoppable. So he does have this idea also that he is unstoppable, and when he is to run again, no one will stop him, and he will make it through another term. And it is also to remember that he is not up to re-election until, I believe, 2024. So yes, we have some time to check on him until then. But this reading is what is and how things are for the time being, for the now. In the obstacle, his fears, we do have here the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands here, it is seen as the Four of Matches in this deck. The Four of Wands is usually the cards that this card usually comes up for me to represent. Let's see, if we're talking about the president, that will be the White House. When we talk about a senator, in this case Ted Cruz, this is where he does his business, the Senate. So here he has the expectation that, or I would say the hope, that his constituents close their eyes on this matter with his the trip in Cancun. He is hoping that by the time he's up to re-election, they will have forgotten that he let them down, that he didn't even care about them, and wanted to take his family to a safer place while his constituents were dying behind. So this is what we have here. This is a card of community, people coming together to celebrate as a whole, as a group, as a community, and that is what he is expecting or hoping for his constituent. And I hope this makes sense as I'm what I am saying. And the feel here is also that he doesn't want to leave power. He doesn't want to leave here. The Four of Wands here is the Senate, like his home. Somehow he doesn't want to leave it, so that's why he's hoping those constituents of his are going to vote him, get around him and re-elect him again. In the advice, we do have the Tower. So the Tower is a card of change, card of and usually those changes are drastic. They can shake everything up, like literally like a tower falling apart. So he has that in this case, a tower, that is a tower moment coming, and the feel here is that his political career may be in danger somehow. And we did ask the question in terms of this trip in Cancun. So the trip may have something to do with possibly the end of his political career. At least this is the energy as it is right now, and he is going to try to fight it. He's going to try to fight it again with playing the victim, because this is what they do really well. They do that a lot really well. They, as in the GOP, even when they are in the wrong and they know they are in the wrong, they still have this victim mentality and gaslighting that they do on their constituent to make the other side or the others look bad, or even worse, or even accusing the other side of what they themselves are guilty of. So this is definitely something that we are going to be seeing from him moving forward, and possibly even until he's up to re-election. Because yes, that this tower moment is not good. It doesn't look good for his political career, and the feel here, at least at the moment, is that his political career is in danger right now. Now moving forward, it will be up to him to change that. and appease to the constituent and the state of Texas all together, because the feel right now is also that Texas is getting, let me bring that closer, sorry, get the feel right now as I touch those cards is also that Texas is getting really tired of these people, and they do want a change. They do want a change, and they might get it. By the way, that is another question that I'm going to answer in this video. So if you want, you can jump to that question using the cards, because the question is, will Texas turn blue? So stay tuned with for that one. And where this is going, we do have the unknown card, which is an extra card in this deck that I am using, and it is an extra major arcana in this deck. And here we do have two, the Tower and the Unknown. The Unknown here is basically, if we go by what this says, the unknown is things can change, you need to leave things to fate, and also believe that we do create our future. As I said earlier, the way how things are going to go are also is also going to depend on him pretty much. He does have the Tower card indeed. Things can go really sour, and there's actually a stronger fear at the moment that they will, and his career, at least his political career, is like declining. But things are also left as of right now in the balance, because there's still right now he still has some support. Even though Texas is tired of him and the GOP, he still does have support here. People would still want or prefer to have him over someone else or any other Democrat. So it is in the balance for either way, but the feel here is definitely, especially with these three cards all together, the Tower, the Eight of Needle, and the Unknown. Those three cards are definitely give the feel that things are declining for him as for now. But again, we do have time, and we will read on him again. We are in 2021. He is not up to re-election until another 3 years, so in the meantime we have a lot of reading, and we can check on him more if you'd like. But right now there is definitely a fear, even though it is still left to know somehow, there's still a fear that his political career as a whole is we are in the end of his political career, whatever that means. Let's look at Beto, because one of the questions also was whether he will run for office again, and I was asked if so, when. For the when, I have to say I'm not too good with time usually, so let's just see if he will run for office again. For Beto O'Rourke, sorry, I'm really bad with names, but here are the cards for him, and the card in the middle and the card in the past are actually very interesting, because we do have the Queen of Swords in the past position, as well as the Chariot in the present position. And the Queen here, this could be someone who may be talking him into action, maybe, well, not talking him into action, but in that way, but more in encouraging him to like take the reins of Texas and actually be the leader of Texas. This is someone who is very witty. I don't know who the woman is, but he definitely has the support of a woman, not just his wife. I know he's married, not just her, but in his entourage, he does have this leader coming in here, because this is a leader here. He has this support, and she is very supportive, and she is some type of champion and helping him also realize that about himself, and even talking him into really be the leader, a leader for Texas, and even run again. So it is definitely in a talk here that he does. There are people who expect him to indeed run for office again. So some people here with the Three of Wands, they are expecting him to, and his entourage as well, his surrounding people are really hoping that he will make that move. And we do have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups here, we have someone leaving things behind, but the feel here with the card is more of an introspection, and introspection in the sense that yes, he did that before. He ran for office before. He ran for office before and he lost, and that loss wasn't it did have some impact on himself. So the reflection here that is going on is whether he's willing to go through that again. But also for the people of Texas, he is thinking things through, and again, as I said, he has the help of he has strong support here that will help him make the decision himself, or come to this conclusion that he is going indeed to run. But we do also have the Temperance card, and the Temperance deals with balance. It also deals with patience of some sort, and the patience here also has to do with the internal reflection that is going on, because he is right now on an internal journey with this Eight of Cups is also about. So the balance here is really balancing the want with the need. So that is what is going on right now. For the time being, it does feel like he may run again, but that is again all the readings that are happening on the channel are for entertainment purposes only, and it's also just for the time being. It is in the discussion in the air that he may run, but right now he is the leader that people want him to be. Teddy Boy wasn't doing it, so he took upon himself to be that leader that that Texas needed. And also in the meantime, thinking things through. And yes, there is definitely a possibility that he will run. The possibilities are there for the time being. It's not as strong though, but it is there. So he may run, he may not. Right now the energies are more leaning toward him running at some point, and that will indeed be because of the situation that they recently had in Texas. That is actually what put back the light on him, and people looking at him to actually make things moving, keep things moving and go for run again for office, because chances are that, because this card also is people looking up for something that is not at home yet. And by that I mean expecting something to arrive at home. What does Texas have at home? They'd have Teddy Boy, and Teddy Boy is not caring for them, so they are looking out for someone else to step in for themselves. And so yes, Texas does want him to run. Many more people want him to run. The possibilities are definitely there. The possibilities are there for him to run. Right now it does feel like he will, but again it may be too soon to give a strong positive or a negative at all. But right now it does feel like it is a positive. So now, my love, let's look at whether Texas will turn blue in 2022. So here, my love, we do have the key, the lilies, and the snakes. So something that took a long time to happen here is finally going to happen, which means that yes, Texas may as of right now, Texas has a strong possibility to turn blue in 2022. And the presence of the snake here indicates that it may be too close, as in red and blue fighting each other to get control of the state. The fight is going to be difficult, and of course the snake does represent lies, deceit. Even when we're talking about battle, is something like ferocious and really like for battling for your life and biting, like literally the snake biting anything that moves to survive. So it is definitely going to be a difficult fight, and possibly also very close, but because of the key and the lilies, yes, Texas have, as of right now, it does feel and look like Texas may indeed turn blue in 2022. Now let's look at whether Congress will remain blue in 2022. Okay, so this is interesting, my love, because we do have the lilies again. We have the lady, the lilies, and the letter. And this is a total different deck from the previous one, and the lilies came back for this question too, and at the same position. So the answer here, will Congress remain blue in 2022? Chances are high that it will, and with the presence of the women here may indicate that more women will be in control in Congress. More women will be in control, more women will be the decision makers, because again we have the ladies and here documents. So here writing documents, making decisions, developing laws, or working for working to laws, or whatever they're doing with the laws. But more women will be involved in that process. But yes, and the presence here of the lilies usually represent something that takes time to mature, and it's also when you talk about timing, or even in this situation here, we do have something that takes time, or something that lasts a while. And what lasts a while here is the question was whether Congress will remain blue. And what lasts a while here is the hold that the Democrats have on Congress since 2018, when they took back control of Congress. So things look like they are going to continue on in 2022. They are going to maintain a hold on Congress, and they will be the one continuing to make decisions for the country. And here the women will be more involved than they already are. As you know, I mean, the Democrat, they have elected a lot of women, and in 2022 it looks like they will elect more, or more women will run for office and will defeat the rival on the other side, and more women in Congress making law here. So there you have it, my love. Now I'd like to look at the stimulus check, because I was asked the question also whether Senate will approve. Even though I don't have any doubt that they will, I do understand that many people are concerned and really in need of that stimulus check. So I'm going to look at that question as well, whether or not, or whether Senate is going to approve that, and also try to look at the timing. But let's just look at the question itself. So for this question here, will Senate approve this next stimulus package? We do have the bouquet, the coffin, and the clover. So here the short answer is that yes, they will. With the coffin here, as they approve this package, this is well, before even I touch on that, the coffin here represents what this pandemic has been. I mean, a lot of people have been sick, a lot of people are currently sick, and a lot of people even died because of the pandemic and the virus. So the Senate approving this package is going to be the end of suffering, some sort of suffering for a lot of people. I'm not saying that this is going to solve everybody's problem, because they are still going to be there, but the end here is some of the agony that many will rely on this aid and are desperately waiting for it. This, with the approval of this package, that agony is going to subside a little bit, because they are going to receive this aid. With the bouquet here, it will be like a gift from the heaven. And when it is done here, because of the bouquet and the clover, this is, yes, the stimulus package given to being approved, and that stimulus check given to the people. And with the presence of the stimulus check here, my bad, yeah, I'm multitasking, playing with the Stream Deck and also the card. But with the presence of the clover, the clover here, it may indicate that this, once approved, the stimulus checks may actually start coming up fairly quickly. And I say fairly quickly because of the presence of the clover. So things may start moving really fast. People may start receiving their checks or that help fairly quickly. So that is definitely a good thing. Please do let me know in the comments below if you do enjoy this type of videos, putting all those questions together and marking them with chapters. And of course, if you have more questions, don't forget to let them in the comment below, or you can DM me on Messenger, on Facebook or Instagram, as you have been doing. And of course, you can also support the channel with the link that is currently showing on your screen, and or use that link to schedule a reading. And you can also become a member, and as a member you do have some perks that come with your membership. And of course, all that information can be found on the link that is on your screen right now. Alright, my love, thanks so much for tuning in, and see you soon.